Right. Now we are going for the resistance in parallel. Resistance in parallel, and this is the diagram. Resistance in parallel. Resistance in parallel. This is the diagram. Resistance parallel. Right. R1, R2, R3 connected in parallel. We get a junction for parallel. We get a junction parallel. A and B are called junctions. In parallel circuits, we get a junction. Current is going to divide. This point you have to remember. We get a junction in parallel circuit, and current is going to divide. Voltage is same. Voltage is same in parallel circuits. You have to remember this one. Right. Now come to the important points related to resistance in parallel. Same voltage acts across all parts of the circuit. Means same voltage acts means, what does it mean? It means that what is the voltage across R1 same as applied voltage? What is the voltage across R2 same as applied voltage? What is the voltage across R3 same as applied voltage? How much applied voltage is applied? The same voltage will apply across each element. Now second point, different resistors have the individual current. Different resistance means, what is the current through R1? I1. What is the current through R2? I2. What is the current through R3? I3. Because we got a junction, current is going to divide. Third one, total current equals the sum of individual current. Total current equals the sum of individual current. That is, I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Total current equals the sum of individual current. I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Fourth one, reciprocal of the equivalent resistance is equal to sum of the reciprocal of individual resistance. Now I want to make a single resistance. Now I want to make this single resistance R1, R2, R3. I want to make a single resistance. Then the formula will be RT is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. A reciprocal of the equivalent resistance is equal to sum of the reciprocal of the individual resistance. RT is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Now current division rule in parallel circuit. Are when two resistors R1, R2 connected in parallel and carrying a total current of I, then how will be I1, I2? Then how will be the values of I1, I2? Then first we have to find out A, total resistance for the parallel circuits when two resistors are connected in parallel. RT is equal to R1, R2 by R1 plus R2. If two resistors are connected in parallel R1, R2, RT will be R1, R2 by R1 plus R2. Now what is the current through R1? Now I want this current through R1. This is what is the current through R1. I1 is equal to, this I1 is equal to total current. This is total current is equal to opposite resistance. For R1, who is the opposite? R2. R2 by R1 plus R2. In this way, we can find out the current through individual resistance. Once again, I1 is equal to total current is equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. Now if I want to find out current through R2, same, total current is equal to I2 is equal to total current I is equal to R2, which is opposite for R2, R1 by R1 plus R2. And this is the formula we got it. Now what is the general formula? We have to make a sentence and put it in the box. Individual current is equal to total current, is called total current, into opposite resistance by total resistance. Opposite resistance by total resistance. This is called a current division rule in parallel circuit. We call it as a current division rule in parallel circuit. Parallel circuit, when two resistors are connected in R1, R2, then we'll find out individual currents. Clear? So that we have completed a resistance in parallel. We have completed. Right. Now come to inductance in series. See, inductance in series and resistance series are almost equal points, or not almost, all exactly equal points, except for See, once we check it out, how will be the formula? How is the points related to inductance in series? Right, see this one. Same current flows through all parts of the circuit. Same current flows through all parts of the circuit. Inductance in series. Now come to different inductance have their individual drop. Same. Different inductors have their individual drop. In resistance also, the same point includes. Now come to third point. Applied voltage equals the sum of different voltage drops. Applied voltage equals the sum of different voltage drops. V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now come to the inductance. Equivalent inductance is equal to the sum of individual inductance. Now I want to make a single inductance. Instead of three inductors, I want to make a single inductance in series circuit. That the formula will be LT is equal to L1 plus L2 plus L3. L1 plus L2 plus L3. Right? Now come to the inductance in series. Now come to inductance in series. Come to inductors in series. The same points again take diagram L1, L3, take three inductors L1, L2, L3, connect in parallel such that we get a junction. We get a junction. We get a junction. See this point. This point. I1, I2, I3. Now come to the points. Same thing. Compare with the resistance. The sentence will be same sentences. Same voltage acts across all parts of the circuit, means same voltage in parallel circuit always, whether it is resistance, inductance, capacitance, whatever it may be. If you are connected in parallel, the voltage will be same. Different inductors have their individual current, same thing. If you get a junction for any element, either it is R, L, C, if you get a junction, the current is going to divide. The current is going to divide. Now come to total current equals the sum of individual current. Total current equals the sum of individual current. Total current equals the sum of individual current. I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Total current equals the sum of individual current. I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Now come to fourth point, reciprocal of their equivalent inductance. The reciprocal of their equivalent inductance is equal to the sum of reciprocal of the individual inductance. LT is equal to 1 by L1 plus 1 by L2 plus 1 by L3. Reciprocal of the equivalent inductance. See, the only inductance parallel, the formula will be how to find out LT is equal to 1 by L1 plus 1 by L2 plus 1 by L3. Same as resistance. Same as resistance. Instead of R, we get it L. That's it. Now come to the capacitance. Now come to the capacitance. Come to the capacitance. Capacitance in series. Capacitance in series. Now take three capacitors C1, C2, C3 connected continuously. Connected continuously. See, connected continuously, what does it mean? It means that minus second terminal is connected to the first terminal of capacitance, and second terminal of C2 is connected to first terminal of C3, like this. Now it is called a continuous connection. Again we get voltage drops, voltage drops V1, V2, V3, and we have to give a supply voltage, applied voltage, supply voltage or applied voltage, so that we get a drops V1, V2, V3, and the charges instead of current we call it as a charge is same current Q, Q, Q. Now instead of calling as a current in resistance in series and inductance in series, now we call it as a charge in each capacitor is same. This sentence is going to be changed that charge on each capacitor is same. That means it is nothing but a current through the series resistance is same. Whenever you get a current in a series, we call it as a current is same. But instead of current, I call it as a charge. Charge on each capacitor is same. Now come to the second point. Different capacitors have their individual voltage drop. Different capacitors have their individual voltage drop. Different capacitors have their individual voltage drop. Third one, applied voltage equals the sum of different voltage drops. Different voltage drops. Applied voltage equals the sum of different voltage drops. Capital V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now come to the fourth point. Reciprocal of their equivalent capacitance is equal to the sum of reciprocal of the individual capacitance. Individual capacitance. Individual capacitance. Reciprocal of their equivalent capacitance is equal to the sum of the reciprocal of individual capacitance. Individual capacitance. Reciprocal of their equivalent capacitance is equal to sum of the reciprocal of individual capacitance. CT is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. See, it is different from the resistance in series, resistance in parallel. In resistance series, it is R1 plus R2 plus R3. If inductance in series, V1 L1 plus L2 plus L3. But the condition here is different. It is nothing but a reverse. CT is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. You have to remember this is the fourth point. Compared to resistance in series, inductance capacity, inductance in series, no capacitance in series. Very important point. Now come to capacitance parallel. Capacitance in parallel. Now connect C1, C2, C3 in parallel such that we get a junction. We get a junction. We get a junction. Now the charges will be different. Q1, Q2, Q3. Then apply voltage. If you apply voltage, we get Q1, Q2, Q3, and the voltage is same. The voltage will be same. Voltage will be same. I can see the points here. Same voltage acts across all parts of the circuit. Same voltage acts across all parts of the circuit. See this one. Same voltage acts across all parts of the circuit. Different capacitors have their individual current. Different capacitors have their individual current. Total current equals the sum of individual current. Different capacitors have their individual current. Total current equals the sum of individual current. Simple says that I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Equivalent capacitance is equal to sum of the individual capacitance. CT is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. Equivalent capacitance is equal to the sum of the individual capacitance. CT is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So that we have completed the called resistive networks. We have completed the topic called resistive network. Resistive network. Resistive network, inductive network, capacitive network. We have completed the topic called network. Now we'll go for the next topic called. Now we'll go for the next topic called Kirchhoff's law. Now, first, before going to the Kirchhoff's law, KCL and KVL, KCL and KVL. Before going to Kirchhoff's law, KCL and KVL, we need to know some terminology, network terminology, other circuit terminology. We have to know. We have to understand the terminology first. Then we can go to KCL and KVL. KCL and KVL. Clear all of you? Right. Now we'll explain. Now we'll explain what is network elements. The individual components such as the resistor, inductor, capacitor, diode, voltage source, current source, etc. that are used in circuit are known as network elements. Elements means active elements. Active elements example voltage source and current source. For example, passive elements, resistance, inductor, capacitors are the passive elements. I call it as active elements and passive elements are network elements. Network elements. So we have got the first term is called elements. Now I go for the network. What is the network? What is the network? The interconnection of a network elements is called a network. So we have to connect all in such a way that there should be link interconnection between the elements. It's called a network. Now come to the circuit. Now come to the circuit point. What does it mean? What does it mean? Circuit. A network with at least one closed path is called a circuit. So all the circuit are networks, but all the networks are not a circuit. All the circuits are network, but all the networks are not a circuit. Means we are trying to make a circuit such that we get a closed path. So current flows through the circuit. Current flows through the circuit. Now come to the branch. What is meant by branch? A branch is an element of a network having only two terminals. Having only two. Having two. Simply we can say that instead of having this confusion, we can write it down that which lies between two junction points. Which lies between two junction points makes you one branch. Makes you one branch. Which lies between two junction point makes you one branch. One branch. Now come to the node. Node. What does it mean? Node. Node is nothing but a node or junction. See, node and junction. When three or more elements join at a particular point, it is usually indicated by a dot node. Node or junction says that when two junction points, when three or more elements joins at a particular point, when three or more branches or elements are joined at a particular point, is called a junction. Is called a junction. Now come to the loop. Now come to the loop. Come to the loop. Come to the loop. Come to the loop. A loop is any closed path in a circuit. A loop in any closed path in a circuit. A loop is a closed path found by starting at a node, passing through a set of nodes, and return to starting node without passing through any node more than once. Right. Mesh are independent loop. Mesh is the loop which does not contain any other loops. Mesh is the loop which does not contain any other loops. See, there is a difference between the loop and a mesh. What is loop and what is mesh? See, mesh cannot be undivided, the closed path. Undivided. Not we should not divide we should not make it into break. That is called. Loop is a closed path. Is a just closed path. Just closed path is called a loop. Is called a loop. Clear? So these are the important network terminology, circuit terminology before entering into the before entering into Kirchhoff's law. Before entering into Kirchhoff's law, we need to know some terminology. We need to know some terminology. So these are called a terminology. Terminology. These are called a terminology. Right? Clear all of you? Is called a terminology before going for. Clear? Right. Now we'll go for the next topic called a Kirchhoff's law and KVL, KCL. We study about the statement and we have to satisfy the statement KVL and KCL. Clear? Right. So I will ask you some questions on this one. What are the resistive networks? The resistive networks are three: resistance in parallel, resistance in series, resistance in parallel, inductance in series, inductance in parallel, capacitance in series, capacitance in parallel. These are all called networks. Resistive network, capacitive network, inductive network, all called networks. Right. Now come to the point. What is the most common useful set of laws for solving electrical circuits? See this one, Kirchhoff's law. What does it mean? The most common and useful set of laws for solving electrical circuits are the Kirchhoff's voltage law and current law. Several other useful relations can be derived based on these laws. These laws are formally known as Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. We'll discuss. We'll discuss this Kirchhoff's law. The most common and useful set of laws for solving electrical circuits are Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law. Several other useful relations can be derived based on these laws. These laws are formally known as Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. We'll discuss in the next session about this Kirchhoff's law. About this Kirchhoff's law.